Hey everybody, welcome back to GolfTestDummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. What you're seeing on your end is just a typical Monday 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time upload. No different. You're probably thinking everything's normal and everything's on track. You watched last week's video, hopefully. But what I see on my end is the first video that I've filmed in over 2 weeks. And I want to catch you up a little bit on what's been going on, give you some behind the scenes. This week I want to give you a little bit of insight into what's been going on with me lately, maybe what's coming up in the next video or two, and also what's coming up in the new year. I've got some big changes, some big things going on, and warm up out here for you as I talk. Just kind of keep this rolling as sort of raw and unedited as possible. You know, I hope today's video will give you some further insight into not only my world, but the world of YouTube and the world of golf on YouTube. So stick around. So this is the first time I've touched a golf club in over 2 weeks. I'm gonna have to roll my sleeves up. They're gonna be in the way. It's getting colder out here as we keep trucking through December in North Carolina. I have not hit a golf ball in over 2 weeks. So I haven't had a chance to practice. You're going to see me warm up and go through my routine out here. I just start with some small pitches and chips with the pitch and wedge. Let's see how shot number one goes right here. That's not too bad. That's pretty good contact. Just a little piece of a pitch and wedge right down the middle, and it proves to me that the track that I've been on in the last several weeks or months is exactly what I want it to be. Wow. Even better. Right down the middle, the best contact in the world. That really fills my soul a little bit, because it tells me that I'm on the right track. It proves to me what I've been working on as a working theory and trying to prove to myself. Before I get too deep into this, I just want to say some personal things that you guys haven't been privy to, and that I haven't told you about. But in recent weeks, back prior to Thanksgiving, which for you guys that are overseas, you know, you've probably heard of Thanksgiving. It's an American holiday, comes toward the end of November. Prior to Thanksgiving, our family got some really tragic news. We lost a member of the family in a seriously tragic way. I'm not going to get into the details of it. It's a little too personal, but a member of my wife's family, who she loved very dearly, was taken. And we're in North Carolina here. My wife is originally from the Kansas City, Missouri area, which is kind of centrally located in the United States. But we got word of this prior to Thanksgiving. And I've got a lot going on with work. I work a full-time job. In that busy time, and with the upcoming travel to go to my family's house, which is a few hours away from here, prior to Thanksgiving, I learned that we were going to have to make a trip. And it was going to be a lot of trips. So there were a lot of things that were coming together. There was Thanksgiving, and then there was a family gathering for a funeral. And then there was also the very next week some training for my job in a whole nother state that had been planned, and it's a yearly thing. So essentially what we just did was, over the course of a week and a half, maybe even a little more than a week and a half, I think it's the last 11 or 12 days, we've traveled the equivalent of 3,000 miles in the car, and been staying in different hotels and with different family members, slept in different beds, all over the place. It's been very taxing, and this is actually the first day that I'm home. I came right out here. I've got to go back to work tomorrow. Came out here to film this video, and it's been a lot. Let's pack all that away and put that behind us and move forward back onto golf. So for you guys that follow this channel, and you also follow David Maxfield Golf on YouTube, you may have seen, I believe it was last week, that he made an announcement that we're going to have a match. We've been talking about this now for weeks. it's something that we wanted to do because we both have access to E6. It's like an old friend. We both have access to E6 Connect and the Garmin Approach R10. He doesn't play E6 as much. I pretty much stick with E6, but he plays awesome golf. Now, the funny thing is that I have an upcoming review that I've been working on for several weeks with Awesome Golf. That video will be coming before the end of the year. I'll do a full review of it. But we wanted to have a match. He's in Australia and I'm here in the United States. And we wanted to try and do something that was pretty unique and hasn't happened. Wow. Man, the striking is just really, really good. Something that hasn't happened in a while, if ever. And we are going to play a match. We're going to pick a course on E6. We're going to play against each other. I don't know quite how we're going to pull it off. It's going to be pretty difficult trying to simulcast this thing and record it, and we're going to have to share footage back and forth across the globe. I don't know exactly how it's going to come out as of yet, but we're going to try and play 18 holes, no handicaps, no drivers or 3-woods, because in his garage, he doesn't have the height to use a driver. And so we're going to level the playing field. Now, his driver distance, if he could hit driver inside, I don't want this to sound like a disadvantage, because if he was actually able to hit his driver and I was able to hit mine, he would absolutely smoke me with his driver. He's got great length. He usually measures in meters, so we may end up playing the match in meters. But his distances, his ball striking, he's just a really, really good player. You could tell that he's just got a ton of skill. And if we were playing with driver, he would absolutely obliterate my yardages. But he may end up doing that anyway. Like I said, he's a very, very good player. So it's going to be tough. This morning, I was just checking my YouTube. I've switched to an 8-iron, by the way. I'm going to make some more swings. I was checking my YouTube feed to see what popped up, and I saw a video from Good. Oh, that's a little chunky. Yeah, golf elbow. I saw a video from Good. It was about a half hour long, and they were sitting around on couches discussing the exit of 2 huge Good members. One was Micah Morris, the other being Grant Horvat. Both of these guys are extremely skilled players, and they were a big part of the Good family. And they've now left. So these guys were talking a little bit about it, and it got me to thinking, you know, the reason, one of the main reasons that I do a YouTube channel by myself and I don't involve anybody else. I make all the thumbnails, I film all the video, I do the editing, I do all the posting, I reply to all the comments, I do everything. The reason that I keep it that way is for that very reason. Okay, it's not that I am a control freak and that I have to always be in control. It's just that relationships like that, when you build them on YouTube, they're so dependent, and you can't count on everybody always swimming in the same direction. And I have no idea why they left. They may just want to further their own individual careers. But if you involve somebody else, there's the issue of money, first of all. There's the issue of, well, all the content that you've made is still going to be out there getting views unless you delete it off of YouTube. And it gets really messy. And I just don't want any complications like that in my channel. If I decide to end the YouTube channel and stop making content, that's it. There's no mess. There's no muss. There's no fuss. So a lot of the channels with that buddy system, they do very well, and they're super successful. Good and all of their individual channels, and Good Labs and everything else that they do, it's hugely successful. But Rick Shields is the biggest golf YouTuber out there. He's got over 2.5 million subs now. It's just him. Now he has a team of people. I think he said at one point he has over 20 something people, maybe about 25 people that help create the Rick Shields channel. Wow, that one's really good. I'm not even making full swings, but they put a lot of work into it to basically where Rick, you know, he started off as a YouTuber and now he's just the talent. He just shows up for the filming. Now he may help with the concepts. I don't know how involved he is anymore, but he's got people to do his social media. He's got legal. He's got, you know, financial people involved, I'm sure. He's got filming. He's got editing. He's got a whole team behind him. I don't have any of that. Now you might say, well, they're huge and you're not. You're just a tiny little YouTube channel. And to be fair, that's true. And it may get to a point to where I have to involve some other people. But I want to try and keep that as close to home as possible. Because when you start seeing these people going in different directions, you take what was once a great thing and you see the end of it. Now, I'm not saying that good's over. Obviously not. They're going to continue on. They've got a clothing line. They've got putters now that they have, so they've actually got their own golf equipment. They're not going to quit, but it is definitely going to have to change. That one's really good. Wow, yeah. So YouTube, as it relates to any sort of genre, is extremely tough. But golf, that's the one that I know well. We're going to move up to a 6-iron here. Golf on YouTube is one that I know well. I've been doing this now. Come March will be 4 years. 4 years with this channel. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot not only about golf, but about golf on YouTube. It is a fickle mistress. First of all, you have seasons. There's a lot of places right now you guys have put your golf clubs away. There's no season. Now out here, I'm 4 seasons. It's one of the reasons that I love having a simulator. Golf on YouTube is difficult. I blocked that one out to the right. Wow. Struck it well, but it's way off to the right. Because you've got everything from just fun-loving course vlogs where people are just walking around, they're drinking, they're playing games, they're having fun, maybe they're not even good golfers and they just go out and do course vlogs at different places. That's one sect of it. Another part of it is golf instruction, which there is an absolute just avalanche of out there. There's so much golf instruction. It's one of the reasons that I started this channel, is to try and weed through all of that stuff and just kind of find the good stuff for me and maybe share it with you. You've also got golf reviews where people are reviewing products. Products like clubs, golf balls, maybe golf simulators, maybe apps, maybe training aids, all sorts of things. But then you've got your blended channels where they do a little bit of everything. That was not a very good swing. And I kind of contacted it thin, but it's all right, it's down the middle. My channel, I think I do a little bit of everything, but I try to stick to doing one thing mainly. I reviewed a bunch of swings, I reviewed a bunch of drills, and I reviewed some products. So it's mostly reviews. This coming year, however, I don't want to pigeonhole myself too much here, but this coming year, I am honestly going to try and find my own way. From everything that I've learned, try to create my own swing. Chad's swing, the GTD swing, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to try and market it to sell it to other people and say, you need to use this. This is going to be me trying to find my own, because I've had the question from so many of you out there, hey Chad, when you're not doing a review, what's your swing? And I think I've mentioned this in other videos, but I don't really know what my swing is. blocked it right, but again, struck pretty well. I could feel that one as it came off the face. So this year, I'm going to try and start sticking to my own swing based on things that I've learned, put it together in a way that makes sense for me, and then stick with it long term, because one of the things that I've said is that if you want to improve at golf, do not do what I'm doing. It's the wrong thing to do if you want your scores to go down. You need to find something, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not the best method, and even if it has flaws and issues, if you stay with it, then you will improve and get better with it. And then I overcorrected and pulled that one. You will get better with it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to dig in, put my swing up, and then just stay with it. So that's 188 yards of carry with the 6-iron, 202.5 total distance. I'm going to stay with my own swing and see after months and months where I am maybe this time next year. But I'm not going to be flopping around and doing any more of the in-depth swing method reviews. And the reason for that is essentially, if I never find my golfing nirvana, if I never realize the improvement that I've talked about and that I've made my goal for so long, if I never get there, if I never get to somewhere around a scratch handicap, if I never reach that end, then everything I've done for the last 3.5 plus almost 4 years has really just been flopping around and moving nowhere, spinning my wheels. So I definitely want to be able to reach a point next year where I'm not necessarily scratch. I don't have to be a 0 handicap, but I definitely want to be a very low single-digit handicap consistently, and somebody that you can look at and say, wow, that's a very skilled golfer. So that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to get to. That's sort of my plan for this year. Now, coming up for the rest of this year, as I said, I've got the big match with David Maxfield Golf. That's going to be a lot of fun. I've also got a review coming for the Awesome Golf app, which you can use with the R10. I'll probably do, I don't know, something fun to wrap up the end of the year. But then come January, when I start making videos, it's going to be time to dig in. Dig your heels in and start pushing. I really want to get my golf in shape for the springtime and have my swing developed with no more changing, no more reviewing, no more blowing up my stuff. I realize that a lot of you are here for those swing reviews, and I apologize if anybody is sad to hear this news, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see how I come out after months of just doing what Chad does best and see where I fall. Maybe I'll even realize that coming out of all these reviews that I had what I needed all along and I didn't have to continue fishing all these years. With that being said, I appreciate all my fans out there, everybody that subscribes to this channel and gives me the thumbs up and leaves me comments. That interaction is huge for the growth of the channel, but it's also huge for my self-esteem and what I do out here. It keeps me going. This is not always easy to do, especially in recent times, but the fact that I keep doing it week in and week out without fail is a testament to the support that I get from all of you out there. I really and truly appreciate it. My family appreciates it. They all see your comments and see how you interact with me, and I can tell you that we're all very appreciative for all of you. So in a time at the end of the year when you're supposed to be reflective and thankful and see what's important to you in the holidays, I think it's appropriate that I tell all of you out there how much I appreciate your support. Hope you continue to do so, and I'll see you in the next video.